So, hello guys. We're starting our first API mission for the Unified Discord backdrop. And the mission brief is all available right there for you if you want to reread any of it. I realized that the opening part of it got a little bit lengthy, so I don't blame you if you just say, no, that's okay.
It's all the stuff that was in Discord earlier, right?
It is, yeah.
I've read it all then.
Good.
Yeah, I remember reading it. I will say I was a little confused because at one point you said the first two parts were already dealt with or something,
Yes.
but then I didn't see the answer written, so I may have missed something.
So technically, the first two parts are from the mission brief itself. Enter Bright Alpha Star System in the wake of the Bon Navir expedition, and then
Ah,
identify and locate valuable resources and/or technology.
okay.
Those two parts have been done by your pilot, co-pilot, and to a lesser extent, the mission leader, who's well, he acts like an army man drill sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
Even has a name for it, Hardball. Um, and with the assistance of some electrical storms throughout the system, Ghost, the pilot, was able to slip past Bon Navir and head towards Median, where Hardball gives you that great big speech about how you are no longer API, you don't know API, all you know is what you're supposed to be doing, um, and who to report back to when you're done.
Alrighty.
And then, of course, there's the softer translation from the tech head, co-pilot. And I'm gonna throw a couple things in the chat here. A list of things that you guys are given for the mission, and you can split them up amongst yourselves however you prefer. Really, it's just these are the things that need to go towards the final endpoint.
Okay.
Oops, that was supposed to be a soft enter. No matter.
So these are what things again?
These are additional things that are being given to you.
Ah, nice. I love it. I was hoping to get to play with some Insta panels. I was like, oh, I don't quite have enough money left to buy one. That's
Yeah, funny
And
thing, this is a Minecraft simulator mission.
Yeah, and
Kind of
those
is. We're dropped in the wild and have to survive, you know?
you really are,
Build a
and
barn.
you're being told start building up this location out there, so that it looks like you've been there forever.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess my first move is to punch this tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do a better job of this.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just punch this tree really quick. There we go.
Oh, you hit.
I think
Your shock
you,
damage was higher than your actual damage.
you missed
Yeah.
for more than you hit.
You would actually do 7 shock damage. You can never do less damage than your shock.
1d6 of that isn't actually technically shock. I just listed under that for practicality.
Gotcha. Okay. That works too. Alright. There are a couple icons on here. One is a little flag. That's where you guys are at. That's where you're dropped. And then the target, sniper target, is your target. That's where you're supposed to go.
Okay.
Recon, make sure that nobody else thinks they own the place, and make sure that there's no heavy oversight or really any oversight to the place that would disrupt API's long-term plans. And remember, the long-term plan is for API to basically sweep in at a later time and, I'm air quoting here, negotiate with this colony that you guys are helping to establish for trade rights and other rights to whatever's in those ruins.
Mhm.
So our plan is basically to pretend like we have those rights and then sell them to API.
API
Right.
will actually bring in a second team once you guys have established this. Of course, any one of your characters could stay on if they wanted to, but I didn't want to create a situation where you start these characters and then you're told, no, this character has to stay here for 6 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a second team will
Right.
come in and take
Okay,
over
yeah.
the long term.
I guess I meant like big picture rather than our
Yes.
actual.
Yeah,
Right.
and you've got this entire valley ahead of you. It's not entirely clear, but this area here, if you can see what I'm highlighting, is supposed to be a cliff. Yeah.
Hmm.
The hill that you're on goes down towards, towards a bit of flat, and then a cliff goes back up, goes onto a flat again, and your ultimate destination is far beyond there.
Okay.
So,
Scale of this is about 100 kilometers.
great. So I'm just gonna sit right here, and all of you are gonna go there, and I'll just, provide sniper support. Oh yeah.
From didn't you say 100 kilometers?
I did say 100 kilometers.
Yeah, so you need an extra 0 on there. Or
Look.
2.
Need two extra zeros.
That would be one impressive shot.
Mhm.
I also forgot, you guys also get 6 days of rations, each of you.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about buying some, but I completely slipped my mind before this started.
So,
I
yeah, how do we
definitely
want
didn't buy
to
anything like that.
how do we want to divvy up the rest of the supplies? Who carries what?
What have we got? 6 insta panels, 6 power cells, a field radio. Is that it?
And
about
6
right.
times rations times 4, unless rations automatically feed multiple people.
I think they only have one person.
I think it is, yeah. So 24 field rations.
Okay. John.
And we'll just carry 6 of these each ourselves. As for the radio,
Are the rations one of the things that you can just bundle into a single encumbrance?
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
in the pack. Which
Oh, okay, 3 each.
which you guys are aware of the drop down boxes in the character sheets, right?
Yep.
Those are the best. But yeah,
Yeah.
all those
Oh,
types
to
of
add items. Yes.
Yes. And they include in their description if they're 1/3 encumbrance.
Actually, I guess I noticed the other day the current description on the sheet for the power cells says 1/3, but the PDF says 1/6. Did any of you know if that's a home rule
Really?
or a typo?
PDF should be wrong. Kevin actually did go in and clarify this. Ammo is... Oh shit, is it... Ammo or
What is-
energy cells are 1/6, and I can't remember which one it is.
I didn't think either one of them was, but I don't really remember for sure. I don't have my book handy. Let's see if I can pull up my. Well, I don't have my current PDF either.
Yeah, because under encumbrance, it says 6 Type A energy cells or 3 magazines of bullets can be bound in one packed item.
Okay.
Oh.
Go with that.
So all those power cells can be carried by one person.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, is the field radio only one encumbrance? Really? I thought it was more
It is
than
only one encumbrance.
Okay.
that. Okay.
And I meant to put 2 on there. I'm missing all this. So 2 field radios.
Oh, 2 field radios. Okay.
Yeah. You are told by Trance not to use your compads.
Mhm.
because of course those are pinging off of whatever communication satellites the planet has, and you really don't want to be doing that.
Right.
Can
Gotcha.
I change my decision to have bought a compat at character creation? Use that 100 credits for something else.
So
I don't
Who,
mind if you do, but you may as well just keep the compad on there because at some point you're gonna want the character to have one.
Yeah.
Wow, do you
I'm
not
honestly
own a cell phone, Jack? What the hell? What
No,
year are
I'm
you
pretty
living in?
sure we established I'm the only one who did buy a compad.
No, I
I've got a
actually did buy
compad.
one.
Okay.
If there is 100 credits worth of stuff that you think you really want that to go to, then I'll allow it.
Yeah.
No reason not to.
I probably will just leave it, but if I see something or before we get really into it, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So does anybody have the programming? Well, I guess we don't. You don't have to have programming to use the field radio, except for really long distances.
Except for really long distances. Trance gives you a one-use device, just a simple flash drive that you can plug into one of the field radios, and it will auto-tune it to find them when you're ready to report in.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Sweet.
you guys can use the field radios. Basically, that's your communication between each other if you decide to split up.
All right.
Okay.
I guess I'll hold on to one then. Since I figure Tom here's probably the most likely to go further afield. That or Jack.
Yeah, I'm a sniper rifle user, so I might be split off too. I wouldn't mind being one of the ones holding one. So I wouldn't
Okay.
be that surprised if I end up on my own at some point.
Mhm.
Fine by me.
That's kind of why I prioritized making sure I had a compad so I could communicate at distance.
Yeah.
So I guess me and Jack will each take one, unless one of the other two of you want one.
Fine by me.
What's that under? Field equipment?
I'll
Yep.
carry a couple of the Insta panels.
Yeah, the Insta panel says encumbrance 1, but that it can be bundled, but I see no list of like how much.
Those are 3.
Yeah, 3.
3 each.
Yeah, there's only
Alright.
one exception to the 3 per bundle, and that we've clarified is the power cell.
Oh, okay, I do see this. So it says 3 such. Okay, I totally missed that. That is
All right. So
So
I guess have Kevin's character and Shard's character each carry 3 of those, and then probably someone with a laser rifle, with someone who, well, I don't know, who wants the energy cell or the power cells.
Point out that the Insta panels actually use up a energy power or a power cell.
All right, so I guess just split those between Kev's character and Shard's character then.
yeah.
I was gonna say, does anybody have a? There's like a charger. I know there's telekinetic charger. Is there a?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
has a
solar.
manual setting.
There's a solar charger as well, but I couldn't,
Those are
get that
expensive.
with everything else.
They're pretty expensive.
100 credits expensive.
Wait, what?
I'm trying to check.
500
But yeah, we
credits
should
worth
be
of
fine.
expensive.
I mean,
We
we
can
have 6 panels and 6 cells, so it's not like we're gonna need to recharge them.
Yeah, I was just thinking it would give us the option to use them for the thing. Do you have backup power cells to use for ammo, Kevin?
I've got
Your
8
laser
of
gun?
them.
I was gonna say you
Okay.
better have a couple.
All right,
extras.
we're great then.
Yeah, we should be fine. I'm pretty sure I've got one in my survival kit as well. Yep, I think we're good.
Okay. What's the plan of action? You've just been dropped off. You've been the supplies have been dropped with you, and the shuttle that dropped you is taking off to not draw attention.
Okay. Who's got binoculars?
I do.
We should probably go around and kind of introduce our characters, right?
Right.
That'd be
This
good
is a
idea.
spec ops mission. We don't talk to anybody,
No name.
even each other.
Yeah, we are going in incognito. Even we don't know what our characters look like.
All of you are wearing anonymous masks.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a vac suit with an opaque face shield, so you don't know what I look like.
All right. Well, let's start in order from top to bottom. Kevin, It's alphabetical, so that's easy.
Wait, what? Me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and give us a quick description and introduction for Sage.
I mean, I feel like J comes before K. Okay, Sage. Let's see.
But
What
not
does Sage look like?
K becomes before M for molecularize. He's looking at Discord.
I'm using my own alphabet.
Okay, so Sage. I don't know. Um, what did I pick for what he looks like? What is his? All right, so I would like to direct you to his character token right there.
Okay.
Basically, so Sage was he typical Psionic Academy graduate, did that his younger years. Afterwards, he basically went to wandering. In this kind of age of space travel, he's stuck to terrestrial travel more so, and so he kind of became a man of the wilderness. And so he basically used his abilities to be like a guide or a scout for people who needed to. Maybe people wanted to scout out a place for excavation or scout a place to possibly colonize that maybe they couldn't land something there. And so he acted as kind of like a medic / guide for those kinds of missions. Including with like infiltration missions, and so you usually see him. He's wearing kind of like a usually some sort of cloak or robe-ish looking garment. Otherwise, he's relatively nondescript. He tries to keep it that way. But pretty much, it's unusual to see him without some sort of hood up.
Okay. Lucky Lou.
All right. I guess Tom, as he'd ask you to call him, assuming we're not using some damn code names for this. Sure. He's sort of a rough-looking guy. Looks like he's been around the block a few times. Sort of stylishly unkempt. A few scars here and there. Normally, if you've seen him before this, you'd probably seen him in something more like a suit. But right now, he's wearing pretty typical field combat, or not a field combat uniform, but a more typical armor, sort of something probably dull, plain, kind of gray, something that goes in with the environment. For what he was before this, he was actually initially a criminal on oh shit, what was it? Niter Deox? Was that the
Yeah, it's the main planet for
API? Yeah. Right. He was originally a criminal on Niter Deox. Essentially worked with something between a gang and a proper organized crime, a crime family, somewhere not really big time, but not exactly small street level things either. And he was essentially a what they called a fixer, and what more honest people might call a brutal, vicious thug. who tended to quietly solve problems by beating the shit out of them before they could talk. Eventually, he got sort of tired of that life after the leader of his little group sort of fell under the law, so to speak, and decided to go legitimate, sort of. Managed to use a couple of what remained of the contacts to get a position at API, and ended up doing things like this. Solving problems with violence, as usual. That was a terrible terrible description, but there you go.
Would you say that he is keen?
A keen sword? Yeah. I'd say something like that.
Alright, Molecularize, aka Jack.
Hey. So my character. Just pull out the token. This is Cole Westonhouse. He's I guess you see him. He's wearing woven body armor, probably kind of wrapped up with some extra, like layers of, cold weather gear in this case. Has a big sniper rifle slung over his back. Sidearms stowed away in his pack. Just a semi-automatic pistol. And I did get rid of my compad and took a climbing harness and a TL4 backpack to hold my gear.
Okay.
So
Probably good choices.
yeah, he's I took the spacer background, but he's kind of a drifter. I would say his homeworld more or less is actually Niter Tetrox, the kind of gas giant. Which I believe, I don't know exactly what the state of living at that planet means, being a gas giant, but I assume that he kind of bounces around from different like stations or moons or whatever, whatever these things are in this picture. And he's kind of, just kind of maybe a little bit of a, vagrant. I was going between Spacer or Vagabond for his background, but I settled on Spacer because I figured kind of he's like a drifter, but he's drifting through space probably more than terrestrial stuff. So, but yeah, he is an expert. I would say he's basically like a sharpshooter expert. Mostly, yeah. He's just mostly just a combat oriented guy. Some point in his drifting around, he just hooked up with API as a way to kind of as a person with no one home, or place to tie him down to. I think kind of just that mercenary lifestyle was a natural fit for him. So he's here to, go wherever they pay him to go and do whatever they pay him to do, not ask a lot of questions. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Right.
Just in terms of my capabilities, I'm a gunslinger. I got to specialize in sneaking, and he's basically going to be your fire support.
Excellent.
Have some skill in fix right now, and we'll have a lot more skills when he levels up, and I have more points to spend.
And last up, Shar.
My character is Michael Brooks, and I was trying to get a picture in there. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's my guy. It's a little big, but he's kind of middling aged, ex-military. I'm not brushed up on the lore of the system, how hot or cold the conflict between API and Bon Navarre have been, but
I believe it's actually very cold.
okay. So not entirely sure how much action he's seen, but he's at least spent a lot of time training. So, but he's ex-military at this point, runs security, hired security, and happened to be chosen for this assignment. And he's also wearing woven body armor. He's got a combat rifle with a sling, and he's carrying some other things in his pack. That's about it.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Could we get a pressure tent too?
If somebody has enough funds to buy it, I'll allow it.
Michael pulls out his wallet, and a fly comes buzzing out.
Wow, look at you. You can afford flies.
I figured the climbing harness was more important, personally.
Only the crunchiest.
I'll put it this way: I've got 25 credits to contribute towards a 100 credit pressure tent. If we would all like to sleep in a tent instead of snow.
I've got 25 credits.
Do we have 2 more?
I have 10 credits.
Michael's looking forward to sleeping in the snow. It's an experience he's never had.
You'll get sick of it quick, believe me.
Day one, we've already wasted our Insta panels for shelter.
It's fine. Kevin and I have survival kits. We've both got tarps and blankets.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a lean-to. You're not invited.
Yep.
Yeah, come on. A pressure tent sounds like trying to cheat on the survive checks.
Pretty much.
Okay, introductions out of the way. You guys have an entire valley ahead of you, as well as whatever you want to explore of those mountain ridges nestled up there.
Michael is in favor of getting to the assigned site as quickly as possible. We don't have any sort of intel on the surrounding area, do we?
No, they weren't really able to do much of a flyover. They were able to find easily spotted structures like this one. That's why they put you here. But they put you far away because that's about as much as they could get before wanting to get the heck out.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have any reason to suspect evidence of people being at the site? Like, were they specifically trying to avoid something, or are they dropping at this distance just on the chance that there's people at the site?
Just on the chance.
Okay.
On the other hand, we could carve out a little shelter here towards the top of this ridge we're on and wait for nightfall to spot out any fires or lights.
Certainly an option.
We weren't given a time limit on this mission, were we?
You were not.
Yes, we were. We have 6 days rations.
Right. That's a very good point.
Well, I'm not actually, well versed in these things. You said it was how many kilometers? 100?
100 kilometers at the longest portion, not
So-
from here to the mountain, but across.
And how many kilometers could a group of people be expected to travel in a day?
Well, we're not going to... I think he's saying the 100 kilometers is not between us and our goal. That's how wide the valley is.
Right.
Oh,
But from where we are to our objective is probably considerably shorter. Hopefully, since they only gave us 6 days of
I
rations.
think on foot, you might be expected to go like 50 kilometers a day.
Between 30 to 50.
so does it look like from our current position we're within a day's travel of the objective?
It does not. It looks like it's a little bit longer because you've got
Okay.
that cliff face in the way. There's a straight shot down this mountain, going down this way and across. You know what? I should use a pog for that. Pogs? Where's all my stuff? Info. That's nice and big.
All right.
Okay, so if you guys are here, coming down around this way, you'll see in just one moment.
Ooh. I didn't know you could do that.
That's interesting.
Hold it. Well, yeah. Click and drag and press space as you go.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Okay then. Well,
I'm actually gonna make that controllable by everybody.
nice. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I
Did
was
any-
finishing that there. That hike there would be about 3 to 4 days, depending on what time you make.
oh, gotcha. So we don't really have time to dilly-dally.
Not too much. So
Once we're secured the area, we can radio from there, right?
You still
We
have
don't
to
need
be
to
able to
return to our
answer the
drop-off.
questions. Is there anybody watching the place? Is there anybody that thinks
Right.
that they own the place? But yeah.
Right. Yeah. When we're ready. Yeah. We don't. I was just making sure we didn't have to return to our drop-off point for the check-in.
Yeah, I do like the idea of I don't like the idea of wasting an entire day, but I would think like the first day we should still be at a high enough vantage point that we could see if there are any like fires or anything set up somewhere.
what we could do actually split up with a planned meeting location. Have a couple of us take a vantage point up there. The other two make a sort of a trail down as we start hiking around to speed things up for the other two. That way, we're still making decent time and can meet up at a designated location while still getting that vantage point and scouting out the area on foot a little more.
I think if we're worried about spotting, light sources at night that indicate habitation, we can probably just do that when we're closer. Because then we're going to be more likely to actually see stuff anyway. I mean,
We'd still want a high vantage point, I think.
The thing is the trees potentially blocking the light, but it sounds like we're probably going to value our pace over.
yeah. I don't think that information is valuable enough to risk the time.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We can just operate as though we're going to encounter resistance
Mhm.
or
Right.
occupation.
Could
Keep in
always.
mind, you do have 2 people with good survive skills, and that can be used to extend your stay.
Yeah, we could forage.
You were given the information that the planet is not toxic to you.
That's good. So yeah,
Great, because I didn't bring a vac suit.
yeah. So let's set out and see what we encounter in our first trek. Hopefully nothing.
So is our ultimate goal for this first day just to like cover as much ground as possible? Is that kind of?
That's what I'm thinking.
Probably, yeah. I would rather avoid, because I think you were saying that if we take this path out into here and etc., we're kind of avoiding the difficult cliff climb, right?
You're avoiding the difficult cliff climb. You could probably cut your time by half a day to a day by going straight to and over the cliff.
Despite investing in a climbing harness, I would rather not get involved in any highly dangerous climbing, any serious climbing.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, are you the one with the climbing harness?
Yeah.
I purchased one. Yes,
Okay.
it gives me a +1 to my my current -1 exert check to climb.
Seems useful.
I thought it might be, particularly if I need to get to high ground somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do kind of like the idea of waiting out a day just to see if we can, where we actually have a good overlook of the valley and can spot things more easily. But if people just want to get moving, I'm fine with that.
I mean, what if we start by trying to forage and see if we can extend our supplies any? That would help.
I mean, if we want to do that on the first day while the other two just try to get an overlook, that would let us scout out a little bit around the area while we're foraging. And then
I suppose that begs the question: how much effort is needed to properly forage, and like how much will that detract from actual travel?
Yeah.
Well, nobody's quite expert at anything here. The best you guys are yet is experienced professional in the skill. Do both of my survive guys have wait, where did I write down? Oh, do I only have one survive guy? Is it just Sage?
Sage has survived one. That's all I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
So I've got one survive guy. I thought I had two for some reason. So Sage trying to forage for multiple people is going to be a difficult check if you want to keep moving at the same time. But the worst that would happen is you simply don't move very fast.
Yeah.
You'll be able to forage. You're not going to encounter a situation where, oh crap, I rolled terrible, we don't have any food, guys. There's abundant life around, and just standing up here and looking around and seeing things, you see various bits of wildlife that look pretty close to what we've got on Earth. Definitely some plants. You'll want to be putting that experience to use to make sure you don't
Okay.
eat any elderberries.
Mhm.
And probably your first day is going to be, or your first efforts are going to be the most time consuming. But once Sage has gotten kind of a feel for what's good and what's quick, he can pick up his pace at an easier difficulty and just kind of feed the group at a walk.
Okay.
Well, if all that's the case, why don't we actually do the stay here for one day and just get the observation point for one day while Sage scavenges and extends our supplies?
Toads.
Yeah, I could see that being worth it.
Okay. You were dropped off in the morning just to make this easy for tracking. And over the course of a day, who's got the binoculars?
Sage.
Does he want to hand that off to one of us while he scavenges?
I mean,
I
I
suppose.
have a scope that I think does the same thing.
Well, that'll work too.
It's a little more unwieldy, but it.
We have
Well,
like
I mean that said, I will probably not be needing binoculars while scavenging.
I don't
Probably
know.
not.
What if you need to see some berries from very far off? Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yes. Yeah, if you just want to give it to like Tom or something, we'll start scoping things out from up here while you get that done. Maybe set up a little bit of a camp for the night.
So
That works for me.
Cole and Tom are going to scout, while Sage and what's the other one?
Michael.
Michael. Um, Forage, maybe. Mike, yeah, just go with Michael. You just go with Sage, just to make sure that there's buddy system.
Yeah,
Hey guys, wait! Look, in our scouting, I think I've discovered a cabin down here we can stay at.
Ignore the cabin.
It's
Ignore
well
the
hidden by
cabin.
the trees, but yeah, there's shelter here.
No, the DM said it doesn't exist. Ignore your eyes.
I literally didn't see it until I just scrolled down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to clip that out.
good.
I liked the contour, the hill going down too much to lose it.
hmm
Okay, so let's get a couple of rolls here. Let's start off with Sage and see what kind of acclimation he can get to. No, you can't eat those
no.
berries.
I'll go ahead and help him, which I guess I think gives him a +1 or some such.
If you succeed at the survive check, it's at the same
yeah.
difficulty as what he's making.
So let's.
There's not really much point.
Especially
You
since
can
in
always-
this system you can actually penalize him if you don't succeed at the same DC.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I forgot that. Oh, just kidding. Yeah, my help
You can
is.
try and assist him with another skill if you want. If you think that there's some way you can put any of your other skills to use that would be beneficial to him.
I probably shouldn't fire my combat rifle at the wildlife.
Well,
I
every
see
time he
Barry.
gets near
Where?
Barry, you could fire
Pew,
and
pew,
try
right
and
there.
Pavlov's dog him.
Yeah. Or I mean, I could stab something. I've got a knife.
On some planets, the plants are hostile and dangerous, and maybe you have to kill them, just like hunting animals.
Yeah, maybe he needs me to cut fruit down from the trees with my knife.
And did you end up buying the silencer?
Yes, I have a silenced pistol.
Okay.
So that would suppose potentially be an option, I guess.
I would let you make a shoot check if you can succeed. It's still the same difficulty as he's making, but if you can succeed at that check, then you can help bring down some of the larger game that he finds.
Of course, I would roll
Not great.
a minimum, basically.
Sage, let's get that survive check.
You get gored by a bear, a horned bear.
I was gonna say,
It's a little bit slow going. Sage is acclimating himself to the wildlife here, to the plant life, getting to know which of the small furry animals will jump away really quick, and which of them just kind of wait for you to trundle up to them before they realize, oh shit, they're in danger. Unfortunately, most of those that would wait for you to trundle up to them were those that Michael tried to shoot. And the bullet impacting right next to it or grazing through it, it got scared at that point.
Go figure.
You have been able to gather enough berries and other edible plants to feed everyone for the day, and you can return to camp.
All right.
Let's look at Cole and Tom. So Tom is the one that's used the binoculars, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And Cole's using his sniper rifle?
Mhm.
Or the scope on it? Okay.
yeah. I mean, for those needs, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Why don't you both go ahead and give me a notice check? I'm still getting names here. Cole, apply a -1 penalty to that.
What? -1 penalty?
Yep.
What stat you want that with? Wisdom? Or what attribute?
I
Yeah.
tend to allow you guys to choose an attribute as long as it makes sense. You just have to tell me how you're choosing it. If you want to roll this with... Oh yeah, that's helpful too. Um, Wait, by display names. I realize you typed that to try and not to interrupt, but too bad.
That's okay. Both you can do it on Roll20 in the settings, but you can also do it on Discord by right-clicking on yourself and changing your nickname.
Mhm.
And in Discord, that only affects your name in that channel, and of
Yeah.
course you can change.
It's true.
Server, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So yeah, if again, if you think that your attempt to find things and scoping on things would be best served with intelligence, describe to me how, and I'll
Well-
probably allow the roll. It will.
You know, my dexterity with my sniper rifle is excellent. See, I'm very practiced at leveraging my excellent dexterity. looking down that scope.
I charm the binoculars into seeing better for me, so I think it's charisma.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and limit this notice check to either intelligence or wisdom.
Yeah, it's fine. They're the same. They're the same modifier for me. So
Okay.
Doubles means
it's
you get to go again, right? You do it twice.
yeah. No, I'm basically just like using my eyes to see this valley,
Mhm.
as one does with one's eyes. But no,
Yeah.
I'm basically just scanning this valley using the binoculars to look closer at things that look of interest, like what might look like decent campsites or what might be structures.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. It sounds like wisdom to me.
Yep.
It's not a big deal, but I feel like wouldn't the binoculars give him a +1, then my sniper rifle giving me a -1 at? Because I feel like looking at distant things, the sniper rifle is a relevant tool to that task that shouldn't give a negative. Not that it's
Right.
going to give me a success because I rolled terrible anyway.
Technically, I can look at this valley without any binoculars and just maybe hope I see a fire.
The reason that I'm penalizing the scope by -1 and not giving a bonus to the binoculars is, yeah, you guys could just look out at this valley with your naked eyes, and I would then describe to you what you see. I wouldn't even ask you for a roll in that regard. I would just describe to you what you can see with your naked eye. No check involved.
I
The
understand.
scope is a tool
Enabling us to do the task.
Yeah, it's a tool that can allow you to see if you see something with your naked eye that looks like, oh, that's interesting, then the scope will let you look at it more closely, but it's not a perfect tool for the task. It's not even really an adept tool. It's got a very small field of view for you to, hit and kill a target.
Right. Anyway, yeah, I rolled a 7.
Okay. This is information that's going to end up getting relayed to all of you anyways.
Mm-hmm. If I see anything notable, I'll probably call Cole over and tell him to look towards it too.
Not that spot up suspicious.
So what you see over there
Okay.
is it actually looks just like a camp. There's a small encampment on that plateau, about 30 kilometers from the base of the hill that you're on. It appears to be inhabited by some humans, and once it's been sighted out to Cole, you can both look at it with your binoculars and with your scope and see that while they have fairly normal looking clothing, it's very old, worn, and tattered. And their weapons appear to be just simple knives and spears made of bone.
Their clothing, though, looks like it's a higher level, higher than Stone Age technology.
It
Just
does. It has
old.
stitching. Has holes in it now, but it looks like it may have even at one point been a uniform.
Interesting.
They're all wearing about the same kind of clothes.
Hmm.
There is one other thing that you notice.
Castaways, maybe?
Nope, over there at the cliff, there are a bunch of little caves that go into it.
Huh.
Caves dotting the cliff face.
On the... I don't know what direction this is. Is that north? Is like down towards the valley north, west, east, or south?
I honestly don't know.
Does this planet have a magnetic field that makes this relevant?
Pick one.
Yeah, it does. Let's go ahead and say that just for sake of ease, up is north, and
Alright,
we go west, east, south.
so we're to the south part of the valley then.
Yes.
Alright. So caves dotting the northern cliff face.
Are they?
Any
That
activity?
would that would be a southern cliff face, actually.
It would be a
No,
southern facing cliff face, yeah.
Right.
Are the caves are they uniform? Like, do they look like they were manufactured or natural?
No, they don't.
Any?
Wait, they don't look like they're manufactured or natural? What are they then?
They don't look like they're manufactured.
Okay.
They are not uniform.
Is there any human or otherwise activity at the caves,
Not that you can tell.
Thomas?
Still, might be worth checking.
Might be a shortcut.
Might be. But
Might
if someone wanted to take shelter around here, you'd probably either want a building or a cave. Might be a little warmer than sitting out here in the fucking snow.
Mm, they don't look man-made. They could be some kind of local fauna.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, it's our job to scout this shithole out.
It's our
Bears
job
are
to scout the
too.
ruins, not to.
Or a pre-tech death trap.
I say
Well,
we avoid it. If we're curious, maybe after we secure the actual site, maybe we can investigate while waiting for the rendezvous team.
Alright.
Unless I would say, like keep an eye on it as we travel. Like if during nights or whatever we see a bunch of activity there, it does look like it kind of overlooks the ruins. So definitely a possible source of witnesses that might need to be persuaded.
Well, no, they're facing the opposite direction of the ruins.
Are they?
Yeah.
It's like this
Okay.
whole area here is higher elevation than down here.
Yes.
But yeah, but aren't the caves way over here on a higher elevation?
Oh, no. Sorry, that was my mistake. The humans are over here. The caves are all over here in the cliff
Oh.
face.
And this is the
That's-
objective.
That's the
Yeah.
Well
objective.
then, never mind. They do not appear to be looking over the ruins at all.
Mhm.
But no, you're right. This human encampment over here is overlooking the ruins, and we need to
Deal
we'll
with
need
them.
to at least
Check it out.
investigate. Yeah.
We want to eliminate anyone who's around. Any potential.
Anybody we think we can take.
Right.
Yeah, the goal is not to necessarily eliminate them. It's just we need to make sure if they have an interest here, we need to deal with it. If they're just, cave people that don't care, then we can leave them alone.
Yeah, we need to assess their interest
Yeah.
and claim to the technology, and ensure that if they're aware of the ruins or us, that they at least acknowledge us as the local owners, or eliminate them.
The
Yeah.
rightful heir.
Failing that, we,
Speaking of, how many humans does it look like there are? From what I can see right now.
You take another look, and I missed the voice of who was talking, but I'm going to
That
assume
was me.
Okay, you use the binoculars. The light is fading, but you're able to get a good count, and it's actually even easier to count them because they've all stopped moving. You're scanning around their little encampment there, and every single person in that makeshift encampment, or, well, not necessarily makeshift, but in that encampment, is just standing there. You dial in a little bit with binoculars,
Oh.
and looks like they're slaying a little bit.
They're singing,
Swaying.
swaying.
You count
Well,
13.
what the hell am I looking? What the hell are they doing?
So
Well,
given
are
that
you
we're
saying this?
yeah, given that we're here and they're here, would you say that's within 2,000 meters?
You said it was like 30 clicks, right?
Yes, there are 30 clicks from the bottom of the mountain, which is not too far away from you, so basically
Is
30.
Is a click a kilometer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I don't know what the hell it means.
I'm just gonna keep watching them for now, at least until the
Yeah,
others get back from their scavenging.
yeah. Like, well, let's observe this phenomenon a little bit and see if we can figure anything out. I mean, we want to see if they light fires at night when it gets dark.
Uh-huh.
Did this were they moving when we first observed them and then they suddenly stopped?
They
And
looked
did
pretty
this
normal when
seem
you
to
first saw them.
did this seem to coincide with any noticeable signal or change? Like, was it getting dark and they stopped moving, or?
Well, it is starting to get dark, so that could have signaled a change. You
I'm
can't
gonna-
see any other factors that would have.
Yeah, I mean, we'll spend some time like staying and observing them and seeing if we can fathom what would any clues as to what would lead to this
Okay.
extremely strange behavioral shift.
After a few minutes, they all stop swaying and continue about their business.
What the hell?
I'm going to check my time on my, or I assume my compad just like has a clock on it, even if I'm not using the communications.
Yeah.
So I'm going to check the time, see what time it was they started doing that.
Okay. You've got the time marked.
All right.
Your scavengers return to you with a selection of berries and roots.
I think me and Tom are just like intently staring through our things off the cliff
Basically.
side, like not even acknowledging their approach, just being like, "Hey, shut up."
I just like grab an acorn or acorn analog and just like toss it at him.
Stop it! Come here, look at this.
Just stop throwing shit.
I don't look at you. I'm just like waving in your direction, like waving you off, and then I'm like, wait, no, come here, and I'm just like waving you towards me.
Yeah, yeah.
Look over at Michael and just say that wasn't the reaction I wanted, and then
Just
shrug and
here, just take this. Take your damn binoculars. Look at them.
So is this Bon Navir? Or who are these guys?
I can't. You said their outfits look like uniforms, but I couldn't really make out any details of the uniforms.
No, they are far too faded and weathered.
Right.
Yeah,
but
these
you did
people
say
have
that
been
they
here.
were like wielding primitive tools and weapons, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, but by their clothes, I would think they've been here a long time.
My guess is some sort of castaway or shipwrecked folk.
There's something
Either
wrong with
that
their
or-
minds.
Either that or they scavenged those clothes.
But
Possible.
that's not the weird part though. That's yeah, I don't know if it'll happen. They all stopped and just stood there for what, 10 minutes?
You only saw
Longer?
them standing there for about 3 or 4 minutes.
For 10 minutes or something.
Something like that.
It felt like an eternity.
What were they looking at?
Nothing. They just stopped whatever they were doing and just kind of swayed in the wind and just like they were all brain dead all of a sudden.
Maybe it's
Then they just went back to doing what they were doing.
maybe it's some local religious thing.
Maybe they
Maybe-
were receiving new orders.
What? Like there's some sort of
I nodded my head
robot
at
or
that.
android?
Some kind of zombies.
Zombies. Well, I can't
I
say
don't
I've
know.
ever really dealt with zombies before.
Zombies don't use tools though. Like
Don't they?
no.
Are you sure? Have you ever met a zombie?
Have you ever seen a zombie movie where they use tools?
Yeah, there was that one out by Bulwick. It was like 5 years back. You know, it got really shitty reviews.
Yeah, I'm like not even listening to you.
That's fine. That's fair.
I'm just like
Totally
staring at
fair.
my scope, you know, like it was a rhetorical question, and I wasn't expecting an answer, so he's one.
Yep, that's a good roll. So Sage is looking through the binoculars and taking some time to study them as this chatter goes on behind him. A couple of other things kind of jump out at you that, you know, when he mentions, if he mentions, will be like, oh yeah, I totally saw that. They're all blonde. They all have blonde, medium-length hair for the males, and slightly longer than that, shoulder-length hair for the females. You look a little bit closer, and they have similar facial features. It's hard to tell at this distance, even with binoculars, but they do look similar at least.
Females?
Males
I'm
and
gonna-
females.
I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Y'all, those are definitely clones."
That or like Aryan white supremacists or something.
Mm.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
I thought we were in a zombie movie, not a one of those weird. What do you call them? Nazi
Zombie
films?
Nazis.
Damn it.
In the fading light, it's hard to see, but Sage looks again, and their eyes are dark brown. Or black. Again.
Oh.
That must be the zombie in them.
Wait, I'm sorry. Their eyes are what now?
Either dark brown or black. It's hard to tell in the fading light. Because they're not lighting a fire.
Not lighting the fire. What sort of structures did they look like they had for shelter?
One moment, please.